Hey guys, what's going on? Russo here bringing you guys a brand new episode of my Hardcore Ironman series. And welcome back, guys. This is going to be episode 5. And before we get into this, as always, guys, I just want to say thank you so very much for all the support that you've actually given to me on this series. It's been absolutely incredible not only to stream it once again, but to also upload these videos for you guys and track my progress this way. So I just want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much for the 25 likes on the last video, and let's hope we can do it again on this one and bang out another 25 likes as well. So as you guys saw, we started off this episode with getting 58 cooking. That was actually from last time when we were actually doing trout and salmon, so we're finally able to manage to get that level. Now, an interesting thing you guys see right there is me actually cleaning a lot of herbs. So I believe we were cleaning a bunch of guam leaves right there. So we had a bunch of herbs left over from Wintertide, and our goal right here was we were going to eventually be doing some 3-tick fishing at Barbed Fishing, and we actually did not have the herb lore level required to actually make the herb tar. So we actually had to find a way to go ahead and get ourselves 19 herb lore. So we went ahead and cleaned some guams. We went to the magic shop and bought ourselves some Eyes of Newt, and kind of in between then and now, we actually went to go ahead and do Gertrude's Cat. Kind of talking to the Twitch stream, they were saying that we should actually what we should actually do is go ahead and start growing cats to get death runes while we're doing fishing. But obviously with 3-ticking, it's a little bit more difficult, and I'll kind of get into that later on in the video or next video when we really start trading in the cats for the death runes and everything like that. But once again, we just started Demon Slayer, and now we are kind of in the Shield of Arav. But I just want to go ahead and explain the herb lore a little bit. So we actually couldn't do 3-ticking until we went ahead and got ourselves 19 herb lore. So we got to get a little bit creative. We had a bunch of herbs left from Wintertide, and what we did is we cleaned all those up, got herb lore XP for that. And then what we also did is we went ahead and bought ourselves some Eyes of Newt in order to make some attack potions. Granted, they are very low level potions, but nonetheless, they still will get us some XP. So that was just kind of a funny fight that I felt like I would put in for the Shield of Arav quest. It was very difficult for me to actually kill that guy. He was kind of a much higher combat than me, and up to this point, I've not actually completed Waterfall. So we also wanted to go ahead and complete one of the steps of the bar crawl as well. So this episode is going to be awesome because there's so many like new and interesting things, and we're kind of all over the place, but in the best way possible, if that makes sense. So after we go ahead and complete the bar crawl, we went ahead and banked all of our items, and then we actually went to the Varrick Museum. So for those of you guys who don't know what the Varrick Museum is, essentially you go ahead and it's basically, I'm going to call it a mini game. But the mini game is you go ahead and you have to kind of identify and answer a bunch of questions around the museum. And for doing that, as you can see here, you are granted 1,000 Slayer XP and you are granted 1,000 Hunter XP. And this actually gets your levels up to both Slayer level 9 and Slayer and Hunter level 9, excuse me, if you do not have any XP in either of those. So as you guys can see here, we are currently making our attack potions. I just wanted to show you guys what we were actually doing. So being an Iron Man that we are, we actually have to take the vial of water and add the herb to make the attack potion, which I've never done personally. I've only had accounts that have been, have access to the GE and basically have access to anything that I ever wanted as long as I can afford it with GP. So it was really interesting having to basically start from square one and have to add the herb to a vial of water. Then we have to use the unfinished Guam potion on the Eye of Newt in order to make our attack potion. So really kind of funny clip here, guys. I was so happy, so happy, guys, because as you guys can see, we have literally 2 potions left. And keep in mind, we have no more Guam after this. We have literally no more Guam because I didn't want to, I literally cleaned them all that I could. We had no more Guam. We had 2 potions left to actually make. And then we finally got level 19, which actually gave us the ability to go ahead and make the herb tar. So you can't even make the motion for the herb tar because what we're going to be doing for 3-tick fishing is doing the herb tar method. So there are a couple methods. You can do Kebit Claws, you can do herb tar. You can also, if you have the random event from Christmas with the snowball, you can also choose to do that as well. But we actually don't, or the snow globe, I should say. You could also make snowballs with the reindeer hat. I actually choose to not do that method. So we did choose to do the herb tar method. So you actually can't even make the motion or even attempt to make the herb tar if you don't have level 19 herb lore. So it was really a stretch there, but we got extremely lucky and was I was very happy about that. So as you guys can probably tell, we weren't actually doing any 3-ticking, we were only level 58 fishing, as you can see from that picture. We weren't doing any 3-ticking at this up to this point, but we did go ahead and start our Barbed Fishing adventure. So I've never done this as well. It's coming from a level 3 skiller account. We obviously don't want the strength XP because that would ruin our skill. That would ruin our combat level, which would eventually ruin our skiller. More than likely. So I've actually never done barbarian fishing, and I really started to enjoy this. So for the first couple levels, I'm just going to be showing you guys all my fishing levels, all my agility levels, and also all my strength levels. And just a quick aside, guys. if you do see the client kind of changing, when I say client, I mean between Conduit and OS Buddy. We are using both clients, and I will kind of explain that to you. I do plan on making a video on how to properly, not even how to properly 3-tick, but one of the best methods that I figured out along with my chat. They actually helped me out, which was really, really awesome. So I figured out a method where we can actually 3-tick fish very, very efficiently to the point where I can actually do it with one hand. So I'll kind of teach you guys how to do that. We'll make a separate video for that, but you will be seeing a lot of that. You know, throughout the next couple episodes this series. We're going to be doing a lot of fishing, and I think we have some really, really cool things to come. So just showing you guys my agility. As you can see, we are now on OS Buddy. Now we are back to Conduit, as you can kind of see, with the different level up notifications and kind of the XP trackers at the top. They are slightly different. So if any of you guys had questions on that, we were kind of, you know, going back and forth between the two clients. So that is what happened. But I do prefer actually fishing on OS Buddy. The reason for that being is because it actually has an ability that in your inventory you can actually lock up spaces, and just for 3-ticking it's much better. So as you can see right here, we actually switched back to AFK fishing. When I say AFK fishing, we basically catch an entire inventory, use the shift click drop, and drop everything one after the other. I don't believe you can actually cook these fish unless you cut them with a knife, but we just didn't feel like that was a reasonable thing to do, so we were just dropping the fish and trying to get our XP as quickly as possible. So the reason why I actually went back to AFK fishing is because 3-ticking is all about rhythm, guys. And when you try to 3-tick, if you're off rhythm, it's very, very, very difficult to do. And we have a really, really low fishing level for a lot of these. You know, we're barely able to catch some of these leaping trout. Well, you can see we can only catch leaping trout, and I you know, the occasional leaping salmon, as you can see right there in the second to last row of the inventory. But it's very, very difficult for us to catch any of these fish to begin with. So, you know, trying to do 3-ticking when we can barely catch the fish to begin with is just not a good method to go with. So we're not going to actually decide to wait until a couple, you know, levels later to actually go ahead and implement that. So the next thing we went to go do is to try to get our strength level up. So we actually went to go ahead and try to complete the Waterfall Quest. And look at right there, guys, I got banged an 11, and I'm 16 HP. Okay, we're surrounded by skeletons, we're surrounded by moss giants, and we barely got the amulet. So thank Jesus, right? So it was awesome to actually go ahead and do that. But we finally were able to complete Waterfall Quest after, you know, it took probably about a half an hour or about an hour because we were just so scared. We had to cook a bunch of salmon up. We had to kind of run in and out and obviously talk to chat. But finally, we were able to complete the Waterfall Quest, getting our strength level up. I believe we actually get, you know, we get 13,750 strength and both attack XP. So these are very, very good quests to do when your account first starts off. Obviously, this is a quest that people recommend doing basically right off the bat, but what we ended up doing is waiting until now. I really didn't see any point in doing that. Granted, you know, in prior episodes we were killing cows for leather and, you know, killing other things for XP, and I believe we were killing some chickens for feathers too. So but we managed to actually get up to 36 strength and 31 attack just from that quest alone, leaving us at 29 combat. And once again, going back to the AFK fishing, so just talking to you guys, there's 37 strength as well. So we ended up getting a lot of strength and a lot of agility levels from barbarian fishing, and that's really what we're going to stick with. There is another method that we all are going to be using for fishing a little bit later on in this series, but we will eventually be going back to 3-tick barbarian because I believe that's the most quote-unquote efficient method to do for, especially in Ironman, by the way. I mean, it's pretty efficient for any account to do. I believe it's the most XP in the game if you can 3-tick properly. It's over 100k, I believe. It's about 108k an hour if you 3-tick everything properly. But you can also get agility XP. You can get cooking XP if you do it correctly. I will not be getting cooking XP for now. At least I haven't learned the method to do that, but we will be getting strength XP, and we will also be getting agility XP, which is really, really good. We'll end up around, I think we'll end up around like 70-ish strength, 70-ish agility by the when all said and done. So we might actually go ahead and finish agility off and get that to 99 afterwards. Go ahead and get our graceful set and start running rooftops too. But we are kind of still undecided. Our goal right now is to get 99 fishing, as you guys can probably tell. I just thought personally it would be the most appropriate thing to do because, you know, we're kind of working 3 skills at once, right? We're working the agility, we're working the strength, and fishing just very, very beneficial in an Ironman in general in order to catch some really good supplies for Slayer, because Slayer is an extremely important part to Ironman, not only for the drops, but just overall in general for supplies and basically anything else, you know, gaining up your, you know, leveling up your combat and kind of completing more tasks in the game and kind of achievement diaries, quests, and stuff like that. So combat's very, very important, and so is Slayer. So in turn, fishing is as well, so that we can get food for that stuff. So as you guys see right there, we are now going to be getting all of our beads for, I believe it is the Imp Catcher quest. Now, this kind of happened during the Midsummer event, so we were trying to get a black bead for the Midsummer event, and funnily enough, this took us about 45 minutes to an hour. It was actually pretty crazy. We had to kill a bunch of imps manually. As you can see, we couldn't go buy the beads from the GE. So we finally got a white bead, a red bead, finally got the yellow bead drop in about 45 minutes or an hour into the stream. Like, we actually went over our streaming time. We finally got the black bead drop. So we got the supplies for that quest. We can go ahead and do that later on. But that is where this episode is going to end, guys. As you guys can tell, stats are looking very, very nice. 66 fishing, 59 cooking, and just going to show you guys an extra strength level right here, 42 strength as well. And then we are going to go ahead and get ourselves another agility level 2, which is really, really awesome. So we're going to end this episode with, I believe, 40 agility, which is great too. But thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. You guys have been an absolutely incredible audience, not only on Twitch, not only on YouTube, but I just want to go ahead and say thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. It's really, it's actually an honor to make videos and stream for you guys. So with that being said, guys, we'll go ahead and see you in episode 6. Have a wonderful night, guys, and thank you so much for watching. And leave a like if you haven't yet, and we'll see you next episode, guys.